How's it going, everybody? Donut here. As always, it's a Black Lives Matter, All Cops Are Bastards, and Trans Rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, you're already fucking dead. We are reading some more Fist of the North Star, getting into another one of these small arcs of Part 3 of Fist of the North Star. What are we doing next? I don't know. I do love the last one ended just like our classic early Fist of the North Star arcs. We don't end on an epilogue. We end on the final punch. I assume we're just going to go straight from there's not going to be any wrap above that. We're just going to move straight on to the next thing like we did for all the early arcs. It's so nostalgic of just ending an arc on a punch, on the character being killed, and then just hard cutting to something else next time. But if that's the case and that's what we're doing, again, we've already run through so much of the kind of arcs that you would expect the series to do. So really, what is left? Well, it seems like we're, throughout the whole series, sort of seeing a progression of civilization going back to the normal world. So if this is last arc was very politician-like, where do we go from that? Because that feels pretty close to the tippity top. We've already done king stuff. We've already done a lot of that early on, and then we kind of reset and slowly built back up. There's potential to do king stuff again, but it just feels unlikely for this part in the story. I feel like we're gonna do more politician kind of stuff, but maybe a different kind of politician thing. We had Ren on the cover, I believe, and so we'll probably be doing something with that, I assume. Get back into some more lore stuff. And we didn't really, settle anything with Ryu last, arc, so we're still going to be doing a lot of stuff with him, obviously. But, more training him, obviously, but what would the villain be? I'm not exactly sure. If we already had, a little sewer rat of a politician, maybe this time we get, a macho kind of, but that's just we're just so used to that. That's just what the series has done a dime a dozen. I would love for a female villain, like a true, actual female villain. I would love for something like that. But I just doubt the series is ever going to do something like that. What else? I don't know. I don't got no guesses for our final villain. I don't know. Obviously, everything else with Ryu and everything, but, I don't know. The Princess of Sava. Okay, we're gonna actually get a princess here, and it does seem like we're gonna do some kingdom stuff actually. So I guess I was wrong in that regard. We are gonna go back to some kingdom stuff. All right, leave Varga, and yeah, of course, him and all of them are just waiting for the day when the blood of Lord Rao rises within you. Yeah, they want Rao to rule them again. They've not learned their lesson. But okay, now we're going to do a snowy arc. Ooh, very like that. That's, again, very different for the whole damn series. Okay, excited for that. Yeah, watch Kensho in his battles. Learn from him. Yeah, where are we even going? There is no destination. This is a journey of trials for you and for me. Okay, so yeah, we're just traveling around. So okay, we're going to be really focusing on the journey with Ryu this arc, I imagine. When the journey reaches its end, you will know what you have to do, but if you should fall along the way, then that is when this journey ends. Okay, a big, not like a training arc, but just a decision. We're training him to make a decision. We're training him to have agency. Alright, sending him off to get some firewood. I like this, trying to, raise this child of your enemy, of your brother, in this unturbulent times. But yeah, there's still so much danger afoot. An avalanche. Okay, grabs a tree, but slips away from it. Down, further. And yeah, Kensho senses the avalanche. Hears the avalanche, sees the avalanche. Yeah, completely buried. But okay, actually, no, he wasn't buried. He's just put down to the bottom of the mountain, but he wasn't buried, thank God. But okay, now we got a bunch of people just popping out of the snow. Yeah, our first catch in a long time. Still breathing too. Okay, yeah, a bunch of northern bandits. They all decked out in their snow gear and everything like that. But of course, definitely reminiscent of the previous bandits we've seen in the series all throughout. Looks like he's from Sava, and he's still a kid. Okay, so they're expecting him to be from some northern kingdom who's around here, some snowy kingdom. Perfect. Ain't nothing dustier than the flesh of a child. Alright, you got cannibals here too. Arrow to the hand. That ain't Kinchiro. Is that some Sava? But yep, okay, from Sava. Alright, they got some high tech, it seems. They got some, you know, again, all this is reminding me so much of the early series stuff, but all decked out in the biker gear and everything. And I mean, the crossbows were such a big part of the early series. Yep, a Savan soldier. And then he sees the guy, passes back out. Kinchiro arrives. No, he's not here. Just some snow, just some arrows from the bodies and from that. But I mean, well, are the other bodies here, or do they get buried in the snow? Like, is that the bodies buried in the snow? I assume. All right, take him back to a little cave. You're awake. My temporary hideout. I'm from the kingdom of Sava, just over this mountain. Yeah, drink this, warm him up. Yeah, traveling alone? What are you doing in these borderlands? Fell off a cliff, got lost. A lot of vicious men out here, a lot of bandits. Alright, good tea. And then what's this? Sway, sway, sway. What's going on? Oh, followed by what the fuck is that? Okay, I thought that was like a beast or something. That's just a guy. Come out there. How dare you kill my brothers? So reminiscent of the Fang arc. It's definitely what they were all making me think. And already even more what they make me think. Alright, just put the fire in his mouth. Bonks his head on the ceiling, but breaks out. Fucking giant. I will never get tired of the giants. No matter how many times you see them, I will never get tired of it. But yeah, all these guys just have like a mixture of like a bunch of different designs that we've seen throughout the series. I'm never quite a big fan of when, you know, they don't have a unique design themselves, but rather just sort of every design stacked on top of each other. But, yeah, we'll take what we can get. Alright, yeah, just blocks the arrows with his hand. They don't even stick into his hand. It's how strong his skin is. It's just like feathers. But yeah, so the soldier can't do much. I was curious because it was like, is this soldier going to be insanely powerful, super badass, crazy cool guy for the arc, or is he just a soldier? Seems like just a soldier. But yep, Kincho, grab him by the back of the hair, yank him down, yank that head back, Hoogie! Pick him up and just toss him back. Okay, Ryu. Man, this is the ultimate my dad could beat your dad. But yeah, tries to get... Oh, no, can't get back up. What did he do to him? Or, no, was he just fixing his neck there? Alright, poke him right here, right there. Okay, then just face hole, inverts, eyes pop out, of course. I love the size difference is so fun. It just this looks insane. You show somebody that's out of context and they're gonna be like, that's bad art because that perspective doesn't make any sense. But no, that's just Fist of the North Star, baby. But yeah, you brothers better run the fuck away. You don't want that to happen to you. Fucking child cannibals. But no, they're gonna try and shoot him with harpoons. But now you're all chained to us too. Grab it, whip him forward, slam into the snowbanks. Boom, 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 boom. That's so goofy. That's so goofy. You know, no gore, just fucking cartoon violence. But yeah, this is a lot more like a standard arc. This is a lot less like just a typical Fist of North Star arc, and more like a standard manga arc. Of course, it's still a very, very, very Fist of North Star-y in all its particular ways and thematics and, you know, everything. But what I kind of mean is just like, I don't know, like, how would I put this into words? Like, having a character who's not the main character stumble upon the bad guys and then be saved by someone from our next civilization that we're going to be going to, our next, like, arc, that then ends up actually not being that big of a deal, but just, like, is an introduction, like, just a typical person, sort of, maybe a little bit like a guard, you know, you see that a lot, a guard, a soldier, who's, like, the good one of a country or whatever. I don't know, it's just kind of giving me those vibes of, like, that kind of like manga start to an arc. Whereas Fist of North Star is so focused on Kinshore the entire time. It feels so strange doing all this with Ryu. And also just having, like, being introduced as a guy who's not that important, not that strong. Alright, I've been searching for a man like you. What's going on with your kingdom? And that's exactly, you know, of course, he got something wrong with his kingdom. We're going to have to go there and set things right. Again, much more classic manga arc. Our king doesn't have long to live. He's worried about the fate of our kingdom. The savages in the borderlands have not attacked us because they fear our king. But if our king should die... Alright, what's your name? Take it off. Okay, this is the princess, actually. There was a part of me that believed that, but I was just like, why would the princess be a soldier? But, okay. My name is Sara. I am the princess of the kingdom of Sava. But okay, the Sara of Sava, that's going to be hard to remember. But I like this design. I like the design. Looks like this is actually like, you know, him actually like looking at like an image of a real woman in like a magazine or something like that, like a photo shoot, and like drawing that. Because yeah, it's not like his typical design, but it is like kind of like, you know, when he's drawing like Kinshiro, where it's clearly also he's like looking at like a picture of a person in a magazine and drawing it, but then like accentuating it a lot. Feels like that is kind of going on here, but not much accentuating. But yeah, just looks like a sketch of a real person. But yeah, I like the hair a lot here. Sets her apart from Mamiya. You know, it's a little bit Mamiya, but, you know, not enough to where anybody would be like, oh, that's the same face problem, or like, oh, that's too close to Mamiya, or anything like that. It's close-ish, but, you know, in the same way that, like, a lot of the guys in Fist and Star also are close-ish. No one would say, like, they just have the same design, but they're close-ish, you know. But yeah, so what vibes do I get off of this? Hard to say, because this is definitely being, you know, taking an image of a real person and drawing it, so there's not as much artist interpretation of the expression here going on, because, you know, she don't look too worried here, but yeah, I'm guessing this is, I mean, you know, this is the fact that this is a princess is even more of a classic manga situation. But yeah, I definitely think of this as much more like a 90s sort of manga thing. You know, the kingdoms, the princesses, saving kingdoms. Also, like, saving a kingdom begrudgingly or saving a kingdom not, you know, by being, you know, heroic, but just by, like, doing it in general because you have ulterior motives. Or, you know, you're helping out the individuals, not the kingdom as a whole. Versus, like, that was definitely a lot more, like, early 80s or, you know, something like that, I would say. And, like, later 2000s are just, like, pure military, you know. I'm saving the kingdom because it's a kingdom sort of situation. But yeah, so what else is I don't know. I think what makes this stand out, though, is having the king be very feared. The fact that this is, like, the king is very strong, he is very feared, he's not just a political figure, he is also going to be, like, a strong Fist of North Star bad guy, or, sorry, strong Fist of North Star guy in general, not a bad guy. But, so, excited to see that, excited to see this play out. And yeah, again, like, I, you know, should have said, like, oh, is this a princess? But I was like, that'd be dumb, that'd be stupid. Why would it be a princess and be a soldier? But I've seen this trope so many times that I still was like, why would that be the case? Even though I've seen that many times. Specifically the princess being, like, a soldier. But, okay. And okay, yeah, this is a much better image of her. Okay. Much better image of her. So she is, like, you know, very frantic, very worried, very downtrodden. The hair is very, like, you know, in strands, which gives that, like, life's out of control vibe. And then Ryu just like, let's go save a kingdom! And yeah, like this outfit, again, very classic to Tetsuo Hara's art style, but it's got a little tiny bit more, like, not regalness to it, but like royalness to it. A little bit different there. It's royal, but not regal, kind of. Chapter 219, there is a hero! Alright, yeah, maybe, like, you know, this would be a good way to turn Ryu into a hero in a way that even, like, Kinshiro is not. But alright, so we got a path through the mountain that leads straight to the kingdom. Seems like a dead end, but only the members of the royal family can open this gate. Okay, got a little key. Damn, again, the technology for this is insane. Did all this exist pre-world, or did you guys build this in the apocalypse? I don't know, but God, Fist of North Star is a manga I would love to be able to read in full color. Like, this is a series that definitely I would love for it to eventually get a full color release. Or if it has one, for it to get translated. But I don't think it has one. But I'm surprised, because, like, full color releases typically come to the biggest series in Shonen Jump history. And if Fist of North Star is not one of those, then I don't know what is. This is once called the land deserted by the gods. Why is that? Because it's, like, hidden away inside this, well, is it open air, or is this all inside, like, a cave? I assume this is actually open air. But I was going to say, is it, like, deserted by the gods that it's inside a cave? But these bones should tell you the story of this kingdom. This valley, isolated by steep mountains, was the domain of savage beasts. I see. These bones are the remains of the innocent victims of their lawless fangs. And so your father, to lift up the land deserted by the gods with his own hands. So, okay, yeah. Right, sorry. He proclaimed himself king and rose to become a conqueror to lift up the land deserted by the gods with his own hands. So, okay. So, yeah. Maybe he is a bit of a bad guy here. Bit of a warrior king, bit of a, you know, Conan kind of king, I'm imagining. But yeah, so, like, this is, like, a land in which, and it's interesting because, like, when we were saying the beast, I thought they were talking about, like, literal beasts, but, maybe they were also meant like, the guys who were just fighting outside and stuff like that. So essentially, like, a lawless land, where either bandits or literal beasts made this a, difficult place to just live in general, to just survive. So you got the Conqueror taking it over. But now my father is dying. If you can save our kingdom, the throne could be yours. But I have no interest in becoming a king. What? But I owe you for saving Ryu. Yeah. But interesting. I love that, she came to us for help, assuming the only way someone would help us is if they're getting something out of it. To get something out of that, you become the king. I like that. I like, Fist North Star is not a series where I've ever really said this, but for the first time, Fist North Star, I can say, you know what? Pretty unique plot. Pretty unique plot line, especially because it's actually quite generic. That whenever you have something super generic and being able to tie it on, change it on its head just a little bit, it feels even more unique than when you're doing something completely unique. Like, and it's funny to say because the whole premise of Fist North Star in general from the very beginning was very unique for the time. But even still, you wouldn't really say the plot of Fist North Star is unique in any way. And yeah, Ryu, your father tried to lift up an heir that had been deserted by the gods. That's true. What the king, is like is exactly what Rao was like. Exactly the same. He tried to create a law of just, fear, control through fear. That's exactly what the king is doing. Also, the king definitely reminds, as I said, but it definitely reminds me of the first Conan story where he was King Conan and everything like that. And he was like old and weak now, like he was, where it's a Conan story sort of at the end of Conan's whole chronology, but that was like the first one. But yeah, very interesting, like king who used to be super powerful, who dominated the savage lands and the whole bandits and beasts and everything like that, brought everything under order. But now there's people who want to usurp that and everything like that. Now that he's weak, what's going on here? And all right, here's our king and the classic throne that I really hung on to so long, meaning anything, but truly, so I really for so long in the first half of the series was so clung onto the aesthetics of the different groups meaning anything at all. But as much as I love Tetsuhara as an artist, as much as I think he's probably one of the best artists to ever do it in history, he could definitely have a lot more thematicness to his art. He could definitely have a lot less just like, this is what I'm best at, so I'm just doing it for everything. But okay, yeah, he is quite old. Quite old. Looking like Rihaku, actually, a bit. Kind of reminds me of him. Yeah, damn, he is old. Damn, I like that. A lot of times you get the, like, this guy's out of his prime, he's old, he's weak, but it's like, really? Really? Am I meant to truly believe that? But this guy, I appreciate he is, as, he looking old. But alright, but the people are waiting, and then as soon as he hears people are waiting, it revitalizes him. His lips no longer as chapped or hollow, his eyes immediately, like all those bags and wrinkles, gone, his eyebrows flare up. Interesting. And he's like, but then, very well, I'll be right there. Like, I imagine this does seem like a guy who cares about the people. Well, that's what this all means to me. That, he lets himself go. It's very All Might sort of situation. A guy who's putting on this persona of being healthy for the people. Probably also so that way he doesn't show weakness to get assassinated or whatnot. But that's also good for the people regardless. The fact that it's the people are waiting is what revitalizes him. I want to imagine that he's a good guy, actually. Alright, King Assam. But yeah, still looks like quite withered here, but definitely looks like at least 20 years younger. But alright, silence to the crowds. Nope, I guess not. He's just like raising them to get some cheers. But yeah, King Assam is well and strong, our king, our god. And yeah, that's the father, but you don't really realize how weak he actually is. Sound the gong. And okay, some men impaled on a bull here. What went on with them? And the bull is going to throw them off or something? Or did he like toss them off or something? I don't know, because they're not on his horns here. But okay, he's just going to fight the raging bull. But my father must always display his strength to his people. I see, okay. So he like rests in all that time off, and then he has to show off that strength to the people. Damn, that's cool. I like this. I like this plot a lot, actually. A little bit unique here. Once it becomes known that Asam's strength is diminished, barbarians he drove out, the barbarians we drove out into the borderlands will fall in this kingdom like an avalanche. So yeah, Gotta keep that strength in the people's hearts. And yeah, they probably have a spy in this crowd. He's sick, alright, but yeah, no one can stop him. That's the kind of man my father is. Just like Kinshiro. But I gotta say, she's looking way more like Mamiya here. Way, way, way more. I said all that, but they can't keep this design straight. Come on, you lazy bull! My hand again. No, yeah. But then, yeah, the coughing. He was about to cough or something like that. Cannot let the people know that their king is stricken with illness. But, damn. Yeah. I am the bedrock which the kingdom strands. If I fall, so too with the kingdom. JOJOLANDS, the southern fist of Mahayana. And then splits it in twain. God damn. Oh, again, I would love to get this in color. God damn. But yeah, he managed to pull through. Even through the sickness. He managed to do it. But, oh my god, yeah, it doesn't matter about spies. They just already have fucking bandits here ready to take him out. So maybe they've been noticing some of his, like, weaknesses, but they don't even know how bad it truly is. But let me borrow this real quick. God damn, why does the art look so fucking good in this panel? Look at Kinshiro here. Was he, like, redrawn at a later point or something? Why does he look so crazy detailed here? My god. But then, grab it, throw it up, all the way up till it comes back down. Lands straight through his head. Yep. Didn't think there were any heroes like him left. Maybe it's worth staying here. Yeah, we got a hero, baby. There is a hero. Chapter 220, A Bloody Plea. And there's one thing I don't understand. Why didn't Asum attack the savages himself? Yeah, he would have probably sensed him just as well. What the fuck is going on? That's just like a picture that he put in? He didn't want to draw the crowd for that tiny little panel, so he just put in a picture of people and made it grayscale? Tetsuhara. Don't start taking shortcuts now. But yeah, he could have easily wiped him out. Could have done it before he fell ill. Oh, he just means like in general, like all the savages. Why did he not wipe them out? Because I imagine he doesn't want to have to wipe out an entire race of people like that. I mean, not race of people, it's just a group of bandits, but same ideology, I imagine. But yeah, cool. I like this guy. A lot. Love what we're doing with our plot for this arc. You know, again, I never say it, but Fist of North Star, for once, being pretty unique. Okay, blessing these children. And yeah, again, terrifying. We're so ready for him to just crush their skulls. A little part of me was like, am I going to turn the page and going to crush their fucking skulls? We've seen it so often. But, nope. Brothers must always stand shoulder to shoulder and live in harmony. Do not make your mother and father sad. I mean, again, would have loved to have him as the father to, you know, all the Hokuto brothers. Alright, yeah, let no one in. Behind closed doors, deflates, crashes down to the floor. But yeah, who's there? Intruders. No, they're here to help. Oh my god, what would a woman know? You cannot know a man's nature without crossing fists with him. Oh, of course, okay, so he's got to fight Kinshiro to find out. Oh my god. But yeah, not everybody's perfect, you know. Nobody's a perfect hero. Of course, this guy's a misogynist as well. Everybody's got to have flaws. God, I love it. Like, he's like the same size as Kinshiro, but then as soon as he's like, I can't let you know my condition. Let's fight. Grows even bigger. God, I miss it when the characters used to grow in the series. The size of this has actually been pretty consistent for the most part throughout the whole series. So I love when we get again they just grow to show the intensity. And yeah, not the first man to come offering help, but yeah, all the rest were just scum offering to defeat me to claim my throne. But yeah, that's not us. And yeah, Ryu, stand back. But they all fell before my fist. All right, let's see about that. But yeah, just step back, crush the floor. Okay, my Daijo Nankin is the fist that sacrifices one's flesh to sever another's bones. Okay, sacrifices one's flesh to sever another's bones. A mighty fist that crushes with a single strike. I will show no mercy, not even to a cornered rat like you. Is it like your, is the Daijo Nankin why you're aging, so badly? Is that what he means by the, to sacrifice one's flesh to sever another's bones? But alright, the overhand double karate chop. No one can possibly dodge this. But just grab it. Don't even need to dodge it. But yeah, we're not going to hurt you, I imagine. But again, they would just drain the strength in his arms, and he starts to shrink back down. You're sick. You cannot defeat me. Maybe in your prime you could have, but not right now. So easily, we could take you out like this. Just let him know. And yeah, to his knees. But yeah, we don't want your life. My fist chooses who it defeats. Kenshiro does it, his fist does. But alright. That sickness is killing you. We don't even need our fist to do it, even if we wanted to. Okay, grabs a rock, throws it at... Oh, okay, there's some spies hiding in a pipe up there. Or hiding somewhere. I'm not sure why the pipe managed to make them fall, but maybe it was like a periscope and then just hitting it made them fall. But yeah, we saw that! Yeah, they've got fucking spies everywhere. And even after seeing that, they're not scared. They're just like, oh, you just barely stopped his strike. You guys, you have... I was praising you guys for being so attentive earlier, but man, you guys are actually real fucking stupid. But alright. Damn, Kenshiro Nanto's his ass. It's been a long time since he used Nanto. But alright, and him too. Or no, just Hokuto for you. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Boom! Jesus Christ! I don't know if that was Hokuto. Good God. I've never seen Hokuto explode like that. Might have been one of the other techniques that I've forgotten. But okay, that was Hokuto. Okay, that was Hokuto Shinken. Good God, that was a bigger explosion we've ever seen before, I feel like. And okay, of course, Hokuto was mentioned in Daijo Nanken's Secret Scroll. Of course it was. It was like the ultimate assassination art, so I'm sure it's mentioned fucking everywhere. Hokuto are the stars that preside over death. When Hokuto arrives, you shall speak your sorrows and open your heart. When Hokuto quakes blue, a path will be opened. When Hokuto quakes blue. Okay. But yeah, it's been faded. Okay, I'm begging you. So we, in order for us to endure, to secure the future of the kingdom, I need you to eliminate my 3 successors. The kingdom's viceroys, my sons. Okay, we gotta kill his sons. Alright, we're back to a not unique plot. Alright, we gotta kill the king's sons because his sons are evil and he's the nice one. Which is not gonna be a twist, that's just gonna be straight up the truth. But alright, let's kill the 3 fucking viceroys. Gotta set up what we're doing in the arc. And funny, because, like, this setup feels like it would be for a long-ass arc than, like, you know, the Celestial Monarch or the Land of Asheras, but guess not. We're gonna kill these 3 sons real quick. Alright, so the great sorrow he's now opening up about is his 3 sons. The 3 clashing royal stars. Alright, summon them right here. Bring me my viceroys, Kai, Buko, and Satra. Alright? Okay, we're getting to see him too as well. God damn, wasn't expecting that. But okay, there they are, the 3 viceroys. The 3 clashing royal stars. And they're each approaching on like a vehicle, a motorcycle, a chariot. Cool, cool, cool. Each are riding them like it's a chariot, but they're not. Alright, Kai is the eldest here. He's blonde, looks very fabulous. And we got the second eldest, Buko, and then the youngest, Satra. And we have the only 3 designs that Tetsuo Ohara can do. I feel like part 3 of his Snorkel is going to be a bit of a letdown just because we've run through everything Tetsuo Ohara can draw. And now we're kind of run out. We're just circling back. Alright, going to meet around the table. Not the round table, but the coffin table. Father, what's so urgent? Did you finally decide to step down? But alright, have they been the ones that have been like, you know, in control of all the savages? That's why he doesn't want to kill them. But alright, today I'll be heading into the Borderlands alone to wipe out the barbarians. What? What about the throne? Well, that is what we are here to decide. First, take a seat and listen to what I have to say. Alright. Yeah, they've all been scheming the whole time. Then we won't be needing this chair anymore. Yeah, get rid of their chairs because they're going to take over. Or this one. And Satra as well. Or that was Satra now, the eldest one. Kai. It's down to who will sit in this chair. Okay, never mind. At the end of the table here. I thought they were destroying all these, so only that one would be left, but nope. It'll be me, Kai. It'll be me, Buko. It'll be me, Satra. They all grab it. But what? Then they just destroy it together? Okay. Okay. What the fuck is all that about? Wait outside, you'll have my decision soon. What the fuck was all that about? What the fuck? But yeah, Kensho, now do you understand why I asked you to eliminate my own sons? Yeah. They're equals in battle and willpower and with their fists. But their greatest similarities in their nature. None of them know how to yield. If I fall, this kingdom will surely split into 3. Okay. I see. So, like, yeah, if you give one of them control, the other 2 are not going to let that just happen. So the kingdom will just split into 3. It will not be unified. But yeah, this is why my father could not mount an attack on the barbarians. In his absence, those 3 will fight over the throne. Fucking Mamiya, you are just straight up Mamiya now. There is no difference between you and Mamiya now. I can't believe I gave you such the benefit of the doubt. You're just Mamiya. True, unbelievable same-face problem. Such a huge same-face problem. I can't believe I gave him the benefit of the doubt. If only I had listened to the prophet, this tragedy could have been prevented. I'm not really sure what you mean by, like, you know, Kensho is able to do this, but my father's not. Why? What's the difference? I don't really see what the difference is. Alright, the gods have spoken. Here's the 3 balls. Assam, your sons were born under stars of 3 colors. The red, blue, and yellow royal stars. And what's most terrifying is that these 3 stars will never be in harmony with each other. If nothing is done, this kingdom will be sundered. There can only be one king, and therefore only one successor. Now choose. Yeah, choose your successor right now and eliminate the other 2 remaining malevolent stars. Yeah, if you kill them at birth, then they won't be able to, you know, split the kingdom. But he was never able to. Yeah, how could he kill it? Okay, not even like abort one of them or something like that. That is like, yeah, they're already full-fledged children. They're already been alive for years. And yeah, they're all like, you know, even in their games, you know, they're unmatched. You know, they're unyielding. But yeah, if you truly wish for peace in the kingdom, you must become the devil. Once again, doing that plot line again. But he could not. He could not. Crushed them all together. I may be king, but I'm also a father! And yeah, cut the prophet in half as well. Don't let him, you know, spread this throughout the kingdom. But I mean, hey, that's a good dad. Very good dad. It's what, you know, I wish a lot of the other father figures in the series would have done. But, you know, now I imagine, you know, Kensho, I feel like what he should do here is just the thing he's done at the very beginning of the series, where he can just do the pressure point that's just like, alright, you can't fight anymore. You know, like, there's no need to kill these guys, no need to really maim these guys or anything like that, but just, you know, do the pressure point that makes it that way they can't, like, you know, they don't have enough strength to kill other people. You know, they just have enough strength to be, like, you know, to do manual labor and stuff, but not to kill other people. Which would still allow them to have enough to, you know, be politicians and stuff, but to be fair, that might end badly as well. But, I don't know. Yeah, he can't kill them because that betrays the concept of fatherhood, but he can't allow them to take over the land because that betrays righteousness. What do? I'll answer your plea. But how? What are you going to do, Kensho, specifically? This is an arc where it's not just kill some people, I think. But I don't know. You know, might just be, we're going to kill these guys. Prelude to ruin. Alright, so the princess is trying to ask Satra, will you just relinquish the throne? Just give it up? But look, Satra, look at this beautiful kingdom father built. For the kingdom, for father, one must take over. That is why I cannot give up the throne. If I were inferior to my brothers, I would, but they are not up to the task. I am the only one worthy to be king. And yeah, they're all thinking the same thing. See, I like her face like this, but 99% of the time, she just looks like straight up Mamiya. Just straight up Mamiya, but Kai and Buko said the same thing. Yeah. This feels like a classic parable more than a true Fist North Star arc. I feel like I'm reading a fucking fairy tale. But, what's going on? Fire? Explosion? The savage Shutar clan's guerrillas. Okay. Kai and Buko's armies are already on their way. So yeah, there's 3 factions of the savages. Kind of different gore looking here. Like, very different from how Tetsuo Hart typically draws it. I like it. It's a bit different. It's a little bit more cartoony, kind of. I don't know how else to put it. Like, it's a little bit, like, I don't know, cartoony's not the right word at all. It just looks very different. It's more like early 80s kind of gore, surprisingly. But, kill them all, kill them all. Okay, I like this design. I've been complaining about a lot of designs just being stuff, you know, layered on top of each other of all the kind of designs you can do, but I like this one. It is still that, but there's a little bit of more uniqueness to it. I like it. I like it. Asuma's gone, nothing to be afraid of now. Kingdom belongs to the Shutar now. I love the claws in his eye patch. Okay, the royal army is here. Okay. When they were saying back here, they're like, yeah, Kai and Buko's armies are already on their way. They meant like literally their armies are already on their way, not like their armies are the savages. Okay, never mind. But I feel like they're gotta still be working with the savages and using this as a way to show their strength and everything. And yeah, now they've got their armies competing against each other, which is not good because that's gonna make them slip up and die way more often. But yeah, the brothers are doing a lot on their own. To be fair, I'm not even sure how much the armies even need to do. But it was part of the Sutra Chief's plan. Now all the brothers are here in one area. They got them surrounded, but it seems like that was all part of their plan. But okay, the chief's just getting away, just running away. Adjutant Dinah! The people are watching. Pursue that rabble and bring me the chief's head. That will prove that I am worthy to be king. Yes, my lord. But alright, he's gonna die for sure. So funny I did not hear the word adjutant in my life at all until it was in Bleach, and now I just keep seeing it in manga all the time. So funny. And okay, we got Adjutant Guileless as well from Buko's group here. Don't let them get the chief's head, but it would be dangerous to pursue them too far. You fool, whoever takes the chief's head can claim victory in this battle. Now go! Yeah, and of course, yep. Damn it, Adjutant Yan, go after them! Yep, Satra as well. All so stupid. And yep, they fell for it. So then he goes, to Joe as he jumps out of the way. They all fall into a big old pit. Great. I do love that, again, the car, the motorcycle, the horse. Again, it is just another example of Tetsuhara doing, here's the 3 things I can do. But it's cool. I like it. And yeah, all these guys do have very, like, bird-like aesthetic. Okay. We're good. We're sticking with an actual aesthetic. I like it. But yeah, all fell in a hole. And so what? What are they just gonna, like, set them on fire or just shoot them or something? Okay, yep. Set them on fire with a flamethrower. Alright. Burn their adjutants down to the ground. Now, they're number ones. All these armies, number ones, going down together. And yeah, calling out their lords. But your lord's the one who got you into this mess. Blindly followed orders, blindly died. And yeah, it hits them all very hard. But, this is the cost of your own actions. Yeah, foolish rivalry cost the lives of valuable soldiers. Or invaluable soldiers, really. But okay, and then, what the fuck? Kinshiro, did something. He scraped off a bunch of snow to fall on them? Yeah, so he's like creating like an avalanche on them, okay. Hits him with the flamethrower, but just, damn, like a boxing punch, so rare. Just punches all the flame back onto him. Okay. Grabs the flamethrower off of him, kicks him, and I thought he was going to blow up the flamethrower on him or something, but hits him right in the no-eye. And did something happen to him? I'm not sure, but we don't like to see what actually, like, if he died or anything. Assumingly he did, but rare. We never don't see somebody die in Fist of the North Star. But alright, turns the flamethrower on them. Again. God, this arc, more than any of the other arcs, like the other arcs I've loved, but this arc is really making me go, I want to see this in color. And yeah, the brother's asking, who is this guy? His name is Kinshiro, answering our father's plea. His sorrowful plea. God, this is a sick-ass image here. Extremely dope. Dope. Kinshiro with a fucking flamethrower. Looking fucking sick as hell. I don't know what this new thing he's got on is, but... Also, what happened to all the winter gear? He took it all off. I thought that was going to end the chapter. Yeah, if only the brothers would have not been able to, they would have been able to concede, not just fight their entire lives. But did we need this final page? I don't know if we did, but... Okay, getting partial color. Nice. Alright, which one of us did he choose? Oh my god, Kinshiro is just sitting on the fucking throne! 223, the fierce warrior. Oh my god, so fucking funny. King Kinshiro, I've chosen myself. And whoa, wait, hold on. Is that fucking the king on Kokomo or just on a different horse? I can't tell if it has the wrapping on its eye. Might just be on his own horse, actually. This kingdom is mine. What do you mean? Is he actually going to take over and he's going to become King Kinshiro? Holy shit. You could either leave or die. Choose. What the fuck? It's like I skipped a chapter. What the hell is going on? Alright, they're both trying to go at him, specifically the two older ones. But, wait, okay, yeah, then, stop, what the fuck was his name? Satra, not Satra. But, okay, everybody, just hold on. He's mine! This is a great opportunity. Let's have this guy decide who'll be the successor. Okay, yeah. Our fists are said to be equal, so let's find out who's actually superior once and for all. It seems like a good opportunity, honestly. They're competing because of our father's love. No one will defeat that man of Hokuto. But then somebody here was begging him not to go through this. Kodo. The trusted confidant, okay. But okay, yeah, so he raised them equally, believed favoritism would create a rift between them. My knowledge, my fists, even my time was given evenly to them with no regard for difference in their ages. At times, I even cut their cake into 3 pieces. So yeah, he is like, you know, the exact opposite of Ryukin and Koryu. Like, while that was like entirely favoritism, this is all like no favoritism. And it just seems like this is a real like, you know, this is sort of like flying in the face of what I've been saying. It does seem like this is just fated to be. Like, no matter what, if you're a part of martial art, you will end up suffering. Like, it does not matter how you raise the person. It does not matter anything about, you know, it is nothing about nurture. It's all about nature. It's just inherently the nature of knowing a martial art makes you into a fucking crazy person. It just seems to be the case. But, like, we're really focusing on Satra being the one that's slightly different, though basically the same as the other two, but still slightly different. And, you know, I'm curious where it's, like, what it's going to end up being. And, like, I really don't know where he failed here, despite raising them their entire lives at every instant, like, the most heightened, crazy degree, making them true equals, telling them over and over again, you are equal as brothers. And yet, in modern day, you know, they clearly do not see themselves as equal in any way. Compared to, like, you know, like Kinshiro and Rao, who pretty much saw each other as equals. Compared to, you know, Kinshiro and his real brothers, who pretty much all saw each other as equals, for the most part. Like, there's definitely a lot more seeing each other as equals when they weren't raised as equals. And then the guys that were raised as equals are the ones we've seen treat each other like they have the most differences between them. Like, you know, not like, that's not a good way to put it, but like, you know, being like, oh, I am worthy, my brother's not. I am worthy, my brother's not. That sort of thing. I've forced them to be equals, and I should have just let nature take its course, but if you did that, it would have ended up the same bad and different way. Again, it does not matter about how you raise them, it seems. It just seems like it's going to happen regardless, so. But, like, them growing up not learning how to yield to one another could not have been anything to do with your parenting, because you taught them the exact opposite. You taught them that they are equals, and somehow they grew up thinking that they should be competing with each other. But, you know, you have instilled them at every opportunity that that is the exact opposite way you want them to live. And it's not like they're rebelling against you, so it is just like, I don't know, they're fucking insane. Like, there's not really any logical reason why they are like this. They just are insane. Okay, remember when Kurakage here gave birth to a beautiful fowl. And then, what, yeah, all 3 of them wanted it for themselves, but there was only 1 horse. And as a result, they all ended up killing the horse, because they didn't know how to yield. They killed the fowls, they fought over it. What, you know, like, I'm definitely someone who is a lot more into nurture over nature. And so, you know, this twist isn't really quite working for me. Yeah, like, a cake can be cut into 3, but not a living creature. Like, I understand what Bronson's trying to do with this arc. He's trying to do a, like, I raise them all as equals, but what he's missing is, you know, like, that he should have been instilling this, like, you know, this is what you are earned. This is what you deserve. This is your birthright. You know, like, if there was that sort of stuff being, you know, taught to them, I would understand why they're like this. If there is some sort of sense of him being like, you know, one day one of you will have to be the ruler, despite the fact that he's, like, treating them all to be equal, I could understand why they're like this. If there was something put into, you know, the fact that he was, I mean, I don't know sure what else. It really has to be one of those two. If he just instilled the fact that they were deserving of this stuff, or, like, you know, it was just inherently, you know, their birthright, whatever. Or, you know, instilling this nature of, like, one day there can only be one of you, but right now you're all equals. But, like, you know, without either of those, this just feels so silly. Like, they keep the number one thing we know about them is they can't yield, but we have not shown any instance of why they don't yield to each other. Everything they've been taught has been to yield to each other. The 3 slices of cake, the fact that it's like the youngest one gets as much of a big slice as the rest of them, is teaching them to yield to each other. So why then suddenly are they unable to know how to yield? Where did that come from? Again, I understand what Bronson's trying to do. Like, I understand what he is trying to tell a story of raising these kids to be unyielding. But then he just didn't do that. So what the fuck, Bronson? This story does not work anymore. But okay, so he is determined to just kill his sons and, have them die rather, and then have his advisor take over, and he'll be the next king. And so he's just gonna go kill himself fighting all the savages. All right, back to our fight. Kenjiro's just gonna fight them all sitting down on the throne. All right, lunges at him, but something on the floor, a carpet or whatever, slips on the carpet. Oh, does Kenjiro drag it back with his foot, then grabs it out of his hand, kicks him in the face, just with a 1 foot over there. Kick. Oh, so funny. Truly not even trying. The least he's ever tried with anybody. Then picks him up, puts it back in his hand. Something wrong, try again. So disrespectful. So disrespectful. But then it just shatters in his hands. Pats him on the head. How could you be king when you know nothing? You know nothing of the world or your people. Don't even know your father's anguish. Yeah? So who's next? Or have the frogs in the well finish their contest of strength? Frogs in the well, you do not know the world. Just know that small place inside the well, thinking it's the whole world. All they've known their entire life is this kingdom. But they have not been outside this kingdom. Chapter 224, Imbued in a Cruel Fist. I'll take you on, peon. Alright. Step up. Oh, actually he's getting out of the chair for once. I'm surprised. He actually did think Satra was a little bitch and these guys are much more worth it. So I guess that's what we were, with all the things like, oh, Satra seems slightly different. It's just like Satra's weaker than them. Not anything like personality-wise. As always, incredible art. Incredible art. We're at the end of the series. We're 200 chapters into the series. I don't say it enough, but man, the art's so fucking good. Seems like you really just can't fight me sitting down. Is that what you think? You're wrong. Fine then, I'll finish you off with one arm. Okay. But then why did you get out of the chair, Kenshiro? Yeah, he's got fucking fury within him now. It's rare that we ever see him angry. Even at the times where he should be furious, he never is. But, yeah, the father's sorrow even feels father's most subtle emotions. Which is crazy, because, yeah, Kenshiro really likes this king in a way that he's never really liked anybody else. Alright, we got a Daijo Nankin's secret technique. Silver Flow War Mace. How is this a secret technique? What is this? Just that the chain extends? That was your secret technique? God, these secret techniques suck shit. Alright, wraps him up, but... Now, Hohasa Mongoku, the myriad constraining chains of hell! And sends a bunch of hook chains after him, wraps them all up like a fucking mummy. Let me see you fight with one arm now! Crush your skull with Goyo Koshakin! Armor shedding torturous bear strike! But, yeah, one arm rips out, grabs him, twists him around in the air, throw him upside down. And, ooh, slices him up all over. I don't know what sliced him there. Like the chains maybe or something? I'm not sure. Alright, and he just gets right behind him. You're the only one left. What are you gonna do now? Or he's like, what are you gonna do now? Too slow. Just smacks him. Just fucking bitch smacks his ass. Yeah, no idea anyone so strong existed, because you haven't been outside this kingdom. You're unaware of the big world. And yeah, none of the sons even know that he is dying, that he's got some injury or some illness or whatever. But yeah, days are numbered. Why would you keep that from us? Why do you think? Why do you think? If I had, would things have gone back to the way they once were? Back to the days when you three all got along? And yeah, I mean, even she acknowledges, like, yeah, they weren't all unyielding from the get-go. They just became unyielding all of a sudden for no reason. But yeah, no, you just would have started your battle to succeed him sooner. You have no idea how much he suffers. It pains him even more than his illness. And yeah, His lone campaign against barbarians is a one-way trip. Never see him again. He left this behind. Who would have thought a lullaby would be his elegy? The little music box. Oh my god. And just like he made it too. Didn't sing lullaby, so he made that music box for you three instead. Is it gonna bring them all back? Yeah, bring them all back to their childhood. Sleeping in this big old bed. Just a little 3 stuffed animals for each of them. Oh my god, so cute, so cute. Can't sing your lullaby like your late mother did, but I hope this will do. Oh my god, that's so cute. That's so fucking cute. Grow up healthy and strong. Live long and peacefully together. This is a very wholesome arc, but I don't really like it that much. Like I like it. I'm enjoying it as a wholesome, nice like break of pace, but it's definitely probably like the worst written one. But then right as they remembered all this, blinded by your ambition, you scum have forgotten your father's love. You have no right to live. Kintro, please don't kill them. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. But does it hurt? That pain doesn't even compare to the pain Awesome feels. Okay, he's gonna do it slowly. When Awesome dies, the only thing it will leave behind for you 3 sons is his sorrow. Yeah, I hope he's just trying to scare him. He's not actually gonna kill them. Okay. Yeah, so now they're gonna work together to save each other. Good. Now, Kai, forget about me. Take him out. Yeah, do the fucking Dragon Ball. Do the Goku straight through him. Yeah, did Kintro know that they were gonna act like this? I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, maybe this was his plan all along. Okay, that's where the end of the chapter was. God, the art looks so fantastic. Every splash page looks so good. Chapter 225, Die as a King. Gonna be his last stand at the Savage Lands. And yeah, as he goes to pretend to kill Satra, now Buko jumps in as well, stops him. Yeah, all leaving up to Kai. But he's still got that anger within him. I don't know if this is Kintro's plan the entire time or not. He's still so full of anger. Yeah, he's so full of anger. Look at that. Jesus Christ, we haven't seen that since like the first arc of the series. But then what? Just lets him go. Because he says stop or something. But no, he did it before he even said stop, so I don't know. Maybe he was like pretending like he was going to go like stab them or something. Okay, yeah. Yeah, take my life in exchange for theirs. Okay, now they've all truly learned their lessons, hopefully. And alright, yeah. Is this what you wanted, Awesome? Yeah, hopefully this was the plan all along and not actually to kill them. But he did say to this advisor, no, I am planning to kill them. I want them dead. So, I doubt it. Alright, is this the boss of the clan here? What is this makeup? What is this? What is this? I guess if you're going balding, that's a good way to cover it up. Alright, Humo. Yeah, your beasts only look like men. Jesus, sounds so fucking racist. Especially to a bunch of, like, savages and just bandits. Alright, just cuts his blade in half. Yeah, never wanted to be king. All I wanted was to live and die as a father, as a soldier, but I was not allowed to. Not as long as you beasts existed. You beasts with your savage hearts know nothing about me. This is so Conan. Did Ronson, like, read Conan in between this or something? Because, like, this is also not the kind of dialogue we've had in, like, Fist North Star for the entire time. But, like, now we definitely have, like, the fucking, like, racism of Conan in here. But, alright, splits him in half. Kills the leader. Forgive your father for dying as a king. Damn, it's his final regret, dying as a king and not a father. Okay, that's the end of that one. Okay, now we get full color for this one. Chapter 226, Father, Child. Making the fucking desert, barren land, even though this was supposed to be a winter place, and that kind of all went away so fast. But, making it purple. If I could just see my children one last time. And here with their colors and everything. So glad we're getting this in color. The yellow, the blue, the red. Is this a dream? No, it is your 3 brothers. Or sorry, 3 sons. The red, the blue, the yellow. I wonder how the anime handled this, because this looks so ridiculous. But alright, that's all we got of the color. Just for that. Kai, Buko, Satra. Father! I like how limited color's trying to get across the different colors between them as well. Yeah, I like part of this arc, like the whole, like, we never thought of how you felt, only thought of ourselves, forgive us. I love the part of this arc that feels like a fairy tale. But I think, Bronson not giving any explanation as to why the kids were unyielding in any way just ruins this arc. Like, it's like the biggest, like, Jenga piece at the bottom that's missing that makes the whole tower fall. Like, this arc would be an arc where I'm like, you know what, I loved it, it was so unique, it was wholesome, I loved it, 9 out of 10. But instead it's like, 3 out of 10, Insanely good idea, great premise, but it just all falls flat because it doesn't make any sense. And okay, he passes away, they gotta return to Sava, but then something happens here. Fuck, what was that? Kai struck by an arrow? No, struck by a big old sword. Is this gonna be like the advisor or something? No, okay, just, survivor, okay, the pack. But okay, no, he didn't die, he just passed out for a second. Father's waking back up now. Gotta show strong, can't show you've just been stabbed in the back with a spear. Yeah, do not let him know. The three of us have finally become one. We can't let him know I'm dying. Yeah, hold that strong face in front of death. Alright, taking father back to the kingdom. Give him a peaceful burial there. And yeah, I guess he is going to die. Kai is going to die. But now the two brothers will be able to rule the kingdom together, hopefully. And I like that. Where's Kyle? He's up there watching our backs. Brothers will never be separated again. Oh, as long as you can, and when you go, with a smile. That is all I wish for now. I do like this ending. It's nice. Very heartfelt in a way that Fist North Star has never really got me before. God damn, that was a big sword. That was in deep. That was in so deep. Holy shit. This is the crest of Blanca, the sacred kingdom of the far north. Your next arc, Kintro. The barbarians of these borderlands serve them. Alright. Yeah, now Kintro's got reason to take him down too for the emotional stakes here. Protect my brothers. Protect the kingdom of Sava. Take down the evil kingdom of what the fuck was it? The crest of Blanca. Damn, just take away the whole background, but then make it blurry. I'm not sure if we need that. Probably would have been better just a white background rather than that, but alright, we got our MacGuffin for the next area. And alright, we got one more chapter left, apparently. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. A great death. Okay, so we're going to give this guy like a funeral and everything. Damn, again, so unlike early Fist of North Star, doing a whole epilogue chapter after everything's been settled. There's really no need for this at all, but we're going to do it. And okay, yeah, the new kings, with the three viceroys united, Sava's in good hands. Well, it's only a 2 now, sadly, but... Oh, your majesty, your father's in the crowd. Is this Kai? Did they just prop up his dead body here or something? Yeah, okay, I guess they did. I guess I don't know why I thought he looked so young here, but... But alright, father wants to be in the crowd among the people he loves. But alright, now I can no longer see. Hey, I appreciate that he didn't just die, That he is just like, he is dying still, but... Yeah, are my boys, are they up there? Yep, all 3 are up there. Kai in the middle. At last, I can finally die as just another citizen and soldier. Took over 20 years to get here. What a long journey it's been. I love that. I have so much mixed feelings on the series, on this arc, but I love everything we're doing with the father at the least. But, alright, what is this memory? Why do we continue to slaughter one after another? This kingdom cannot be united unless I rise up. But that would mean sacrificing your own happiness. You might even have to sacrifice your own children. But no, it cannot go on. Someone has to do it. But so he had the children before he became king. But yeah, now this is a peaceful world where kids can play with balls. I mean, truly, we've never seen a good civilization. We've seen ones that are better than other ones, though still awful. But we've never seen one that's just straight up good. Oh my god, love it. Going from this whole flashback to this place where kids can just play and be happy. This old man, no longer a king, just a citizen. I do like the pacing of this arc as well. The pacing of everything's been really nice. Not again. Come on, Tatsuhara, stop it. Right in the your final lap of the series. And it's never for like a big crowd shot. It's always for one where it's like, you could have just not had a crowd there at all and I wouldn't have cared. Yeah. The people of this kingdom are your children. They know your feelings as much as your sons do. Now I can die as a father to a kingdom. Not a king, but a father to a kingdom. God, this is making me emotional. Making me want to cry. God damn. And he cries here, or he dies here. In Kinshiro's arms. Alright, off we go to the northern kingdom of Blanca. White snow. Well, I'm gonna get going too. What? He's gonna go explore the world? Yep, okay. Buko, should only be one king. If I stay, the kingdom may be divided again. Alright, but I was thinking the exact same thing. Lord Buko, your vehicle's ready. Oh my god. But is anyone actually gonna leave? Or... But what? Then suddenly, he takes him out. So he like, okay, as like a, you have to leave the kingdom, I'm going to leave. Is that what it's going to be? Alright, now you know, Sada. I'm a backstabbing coward who cheats to win. If a guy like me was king, this kingdom would fall. But alright, so yeah, he knows. Buko wakes up, telling that a younger brother can wear his older brother's hand-me-downs. But it doesn't work the other way. It's only right that the older brother takes over the kingdom. Okay, alright. It doesn't quite work because it's not like you had the kingdom. It's not like you were in charge of the kingdom and he'd be taking it over from you. So it's not like you're giving him your hand-me-downs. It's not like that at all, actually. It doesn't make any fucking sense, Satra. But, alright. Satra's leaving. Buko is going to stay and become the king. But, alright. Buko will probably be a good king, even though we got the least of him out of any of the three sons. So, I don't know. But, okay. Bit of a, this ending, like, I get what he was going for, but it kind of took a lot of the emotion away from me right at the end. I was about to cry, and then it just went, sucked right back up, so. But yeah, I enjoyed this arc. I have no idea how to rate it. I really like the emotion of this arc. I did not like the plot of this arc, if that makes sense. Like, there was no real pathos to the sons. The sons don't have any pathos to them, but I loved all the stuff we did with the father. I don't really have much more to say. You heard all my thoughts. It was a short one. Weird one. Don't know how to talk about this one. Such a weird one. Very classic Fist of North Star and very unlike classic Fist of North Star at the same time. And we know exactly what we're doing next. We're going to do another kingdom thing. And now, we might actually fight a snowy kingdom. I guess we were closer to that kingdom than we got taken all the way here, to where it's back to the desert wasteland again, but, it really feels like he was like, what should I do for my next arc? What about a northern place? Then he just completely forgot about it, did his whole plot line with the fathers and sons, and then went, shit, right, I had an idea about a winter place. Okay, that's what I'm doing next. Winter place is next. But okay, I'll see you guys for that. Also, I'm guessing, was that not Rin on the cover? Was that fucking, what's her name? Sada? Hold on, we gotta check. Why am I doing this? Not just go all the way back. What am I doing? Okay, no, that's gotta be Rin, right? That's gotta be Rin. It has to be. If that was Sara, holy shit. Could be the girl of our next arc, maybe, if we get a girl on our next arc. I don't know, but that's it for this one. Hope you guys are still enjoying these Fist of North Star reactions. They're coming out a little bit slower, I know, but I got a lot going on. Till next time, get the fuck out of here.